What are you not aware of? Whether you're not aware of smaller insignificant things such as how many words you've spoken in a day or how many times you've worn a specific article of clothing, there are more bigger problems you may be unaware of, such as human trafficking. Human trafficking is a current problem going on in the world that you may be unaware of. So today I will be discussing what human trafficking is, how it's done, and who it's done by. So, what is human trafficking? According to Polaris Project, human trafficking is when someone uses force, fraud, coercion, or other forms of abuse on the victim to get them to provide themselves in certain ways for the profit of the trafficker. There are two forms of human trafficking: labor trafficking and sex trafficking. Labor trafficking is when the trafficker forces the victim into labor for the profit of the trafficker, and sex trafficking is when the trafficker forces the victim into sexual activities. All forms of human trafficking involve abuse, whether it's physical, mental, sexual, or abuse of power. All are horrific crimes that exploit individuals and violate their basic human rights. According to the United States Department site, an estimated 24 million people are trafficked yearly globally, and human trafficking can happen to anyone, but certain people are more targeted than others. 71% of traffic victims are women and girls, 29% are men and boys, 75% are 18 and older, and 25% are minors. Ethnic minorities and poor populations are more targeted for trafficking because they are easier to persuade with targeting trafficking tactics and I don't know. So how is human trafficking done? That it depends on a few things: who the trafficker works for, who the relations between the trafficker and the victim, and who the victim is. Not all traffickers have employers. Some may work individually, but those with employers may alter their trafficking tactics by targeting certain demographics or using different luring and kidnapping tactics. As stated in the article, What is Human Trafficking by Ellie Collier, if the trafficker is the partner, parent, relative, or if the victim is female or a child, the trafficker will use tactics such as extreme flattery, manipulation, coercion, grooming, etc. If the trafficker is a stranger, they will target individuals that are located in bus stops, train stops, and streets because those individuals are more poor populations and they are easier to persuade. They also use online sites to get into contact with their victims. So, who are human traffickers? So, the traffickers can vary from strangers to partners to your family relatives. Okay. So, Jenna McKay was trafficked by her partner. Her partner lured her out of high school, and she was trafficked. She was being posted online without her knowledge, and then men soon came to their residence to rape her. Adira James was trafficked by her own parents until she became pregnant at 12 years old. And Satish Kartan was a labor trafficker. He verbally abused his victims, withheld basic human needs, and physically intimidated them. And well-known people can also be traffickers, such as Jeffrey Epstein. He would lure young girls onto his island. He was earlier known because he was a financier, but then he was more popular because he was exposed for human trafficking. And he would contact young girls online and in person and invite them to his island by offering them modeling, and then would traffic them. So today we went over how human trafficking is done, who it's done by, and how human trafficking is done and who it's done by. And in order to stay safe of human trafficking, be aware of your surroundings, trust your instincts, stay connected to family, and let them know your whereabouts before you go out. Thank you.